Big Daddy Kane, man. Happy to have you on the platform, my man.
Oh, nah, man. Glad to be here, brother.
Yes, indeed. So the first thing I want to know, man, I had no idea. How did that come about? At first, your name was Tony T. How did that come about? You going from Tony T to Big Daddy Kane?
Um, well, I mean, when I first started rapping, it was 82, and that's when those type of names were, real popular. You had like your Davy D, and that was like a popular thing back then, with a lot of rappers, to reuse their first initial or their last initial for whatever their name is, Ronnie B, things of that nature. So since my name is Antonio, I first used Tony T.
And you was inspired by Grandmaster Cash when you first started, right?
Yeah, yeah. Grandmaster Caz was my first inspiration. Like when I first started, I mean, I was writing rhymes and I thought they was real dope. I thought the rhymes I was writing was real dope. And um people in my school, they were like, like, yo, yeah, yeah, that's dope, that's dope. And then my man Swan, he was like, yo, you ever listen to Cold Crush? And I'm like, yeah, he's us, it's us, the Cold Crush. He was like, nah, 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 I don't mean the routines. He's like, have you ever heard them rhyme individually? Especially the main dude, Grandmaster Caz. And I'm like, I don't think I heard them like, freestyling individually. And then he put a tape in it, and when I heard Caz, I was like, his sarcasm is next level. You know, I mean, he was saying stuff like 6'1.5", no good at math, say rhymes to myself when I'm taking a bath. Got true clientele, finesse and clout, and I don't get into nothing that I can't get out. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, he like one of them real slick talkers. So I just really became a fan of his style. And then when I heard him doing that multiple syllable stuff, I had never heard nobody doing that, just thrash and bash and get cold cash, smoke hash in a flash, but I don't stash, dress my best and request my cess, not to mess with the cess that I possess. I'm sitting there like, oh yeah, he's just so, and like I threw my whole rap book away and just started everything all over. I was like, if I'm not even close to his level, I'll never really be good, you know?
Yeah, you said that he inspired you to be a better MC. You and Biz Markie, I had no idea. Y'all battle rap before?
Yeah, well, that's how me and Biz met. Me and Biz met battling. Like we had a mutual friend, this kid from Long Island named Wayne. He was dating my cousin, Nicole. And he used to always tell me about Biz, Biz this, Biz that. I mean, I'm hearing about it, all the time, and I'm a young dude trying to get on rhyming, you know what I'm saying? So one day he was like, yo, Biz is across the street now, Albee Square Mall. He don't just rap no more. He do the human beatbox now too. He was just doing the craft work beat numbers. And I'm like, yo, he over there now. I'm like, yo, introduce me to him. So when they introduced me to him, I asked Biz for a battle. And we battled. I think we might have went like maybe like around 3 rounds. And then he just started laughing and he was like, yo, you dope, man. You real dope. He was like, yo, you should get down with me. I be doing a lot of shows in Long Island, Bronx, Harlem, and it's not a lot of money, but it's good exposure. And I promise you, if you get down with me, I'll get you a record deal one day. And I started rolling with him.
Yeah, RIP to Biz Markie, man. And I heard that, you was going everywhere battle rapping and it was hard for you to get a record deal.
Oh yeah, nah, that's straight facts. Um, I I mean, I was going, but let's not say everywhere. Everywhere in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't going to, Lower East Side of Manhattan. I wasn't going Midtown Harlem, Bronx, Queens. It was just areas in Brooklyn. I was going different places, battling whoever the best rapper was in their projects. Trying to get recognition and get on. And then I also went to certain labels. Um, I tried to. I've rhymed, actually rhymed for the people that ran Nia Records, and they wasn't interested. I sent in stuff to Motown. I entered 2 different rap contests, one at Latin Quarters and one somewhere else, I think a spot in Brooklyn, and won them both, but didn't get no record deal from either. So I mean, yeah, I did a whole lot, trying to get on, but it didn't happen until I met Biz.
Yeah, shout out to Biz Markie. Speaking of battle rapping, you keeping up with everything that's going on right now?
Um, I was trying to, but I was trying to keep up with the Kendrick and Drake thing. Um, but I kind of lost interest. It's like it just wasn't exciting to me. Not because of them two, but because of the fan base. The fan base just made it where I'm good. You know, you know.
Why you say that? Why you say the fan bases turns you off?
Um, it's like because it's not a competitive thing about who spit the better bars. It's a thing about fact checking to see if this person told the truth. Fact checking to see if it's like if the line is dope and he dissed you, it's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple. He bodied you with this with what he said. Nah, that's not true. This he actually. It's like the line was dope. It's like why are we trying to critique and decipher what was said? You know what I'm saying? It's just a dope rhyme. It's like enjoy the music, man. For what it is. It's a battle. They going at each other. I mean, in my days of battling people, I've said stuff about people that ain't true. But it was funny as hell. You laughed and enjoyed it. So I mean, it's like it's I don't know. It's if that's the way the younger generation looks at battles, that's the they thing. Then I hope they're enjoying it. It just wasn't for me, man. Like I said, it's not about Kendrick or Drake. Like I said, it's the fan base that like the listeners and and their comments and their views. It's like they make it unenjoyable for me. That's not Drake or Kendrick.
Right, right. Yeah, I feel you, man. I see where you're coming from. I feel the same way. So, but I'm sure you heard some of the songs. Who was you feeling the most between the two?
Um, I was feeling, I guess at first, I guess I was kind of feeling Kendrick the most because Drake wasn't like coming hard. But then I forgot which one, I don't know, was it the third or fourth one, whatever one, when he actually spitting, he was saying some but then it was just like everybody want to fact check and somebody wrote that for him. And I was like, you know what, y'all can have it. I'm good. I go back and listen to Kumo D and Busy B. Y'all can have this shit, you know. That's just me though.
Who are you more of a fan of? I'm sure people will want to know. Who are you more of a fan of between Kendrick and Drake?
Um, I mean, honestly, I'm more of a J. Cole fan. Honestly, you know, honestly, I'm more of a J. Cole fan. I think he is, you know, like probably, the greatest lyricist of this era. You know, like he's my personal favorite. Um, of all the cats of today. Him, Conway, Benny the Butcher. Like I really dig those dudes.
Speaking of J. Cole, that was actually my next question, man. You just led me into that. How do you feel about the backlash he got for backing out of the, battle between him and Kendrick?
Honestly, I where I said what I said. So if I said it, I meant it, and that's that. You know, I didn't say nothing about your family, your wife. You know what I'm saying? I didn't overstep my bounds. So I said what I said. I'm not taking it back. That's the school of battling that I come from. But today is a different day, man. You live in a world where people get canceled for some of the dumbest so I can't be upset with him for saying, I take it back because the world is different. The world is super sensitive now, you know? The world is super sensitive and super emotional now. People are built different today. So I can't be mad at him for taking it back. It's a whole different world today, man. It's a whole different world. I mean, it's like when I heard those bars that he spit at Kendrick, um, and I think I had told Papoose the night before. It came out. I told Papoose the night before. He might not want to go fucking with Cole, man. He ain't respond yet. And then that next night, those lines came, you know. So I was looking forward to where it was going to go, because the way I understand the art of battling, yeah, you throw that little something out there, you throw that little something out there and wait for them to bite. And when they bite and come back trying to attack hard, then that's when you just cause the mass slaughter. You come back with the mass slaughter. That's the way I understand battling. So I was, you know, like waiting, you know, heavily anticipating what Cole was getting ready to say next. And he chose to leave it alone. I was like, damn. But like I said, you know, it's like with the way things are in the world today, man, you know, it's a whole different situation. You know, dude might have looked at, you know, all this and just felt like, you know, I don't have time for this. And, or who knows, he could have just looked at the comments that next morning after he dropped the joint and was like, it ain't worth it, man. Let me move on, do what I do, you know, and I can respect that, you know, in this time period. Like that, I don't think that would have flew back in the days, but in this time period, I can completely respect that, you know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and Benny Busher, he actually echoed something you said, because he was pretty much saying the same thing you were saying. He was like, "Yeah, J. Cole, that's my guy. I rock with J. Cole heavy." And he was pretty much saying that he don't blame J. Cole for backing out the whole battle between Kendrick because of how gossipy it got right now between Kendrick and Drake. So
Yeah, man, it's I mean, and like I said in the beginning, man, is I don't think that it's nothing that Kendrick or Drake is doing wrong. It's just, you know, the way the fan base is treating the battle. It's like, yeah, I'm good on this one.
yeah, I respect it. I feel you on that, man. A sucker MC. What's the definition of a sucker MC?
A sucker MC,
Yeah.
like a corny MC, you know, like a whack MC, you know. Yeah, that's what we used to call them. We called him the sucker MC. You know, he's a whack MC. He's a corny MC. You know, and then you had, like, you know, the biting MCs that were saying other people rhymes. You know, and also some people call people that had people writing their rhymes. They called them sucker MCs too. Yeah. When I say saying someone else's rhymes, I mean like a rhyme that you said at a party, and next week I start saying at another party. That's a biting MC. But like, I mean, but like, so say like, I wrote a rhyme for you, and they found, and you saying it at a party, they found out that you didn't even write that, then they'd be like, oh man, he a suck MC. Or you could be just somebody just saying some corny shit though, you know. A suck MC can have different meanings. Yeah.
So a rapper with a ghostwriter would be considered a sucker MC.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was back then. You know, hip hop is a real music genre now, and in real music genres, you know, great vocalists like Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Aretha Franklin had writers. So having a writer is legal now in hip hop because it's a
But
real
them
music,
singers though.
huh?
Them singers though.
But don't matter. It's a real music genre now. Hip hop is a real music genre. It's bigger than the culture now. It's a music genre that people get paid off of. People make a living off of. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got to look at it just like you look at R&B, jazz, country music, rock and roll. You know, and a lot of these cats had writers. Willie Nelson, as big as he is, and had a lot of shit written by Chris Christopherson. You know, I mean, these dudes had writers. You know, so you can't call someone a suck MC because he got a writer now, because these are songs. You know what I'm saying? This is not a street battle. Now, if you found out that someone was writing for Goods the Animal or Math Hoffa, you know what I'm saying? Arsenal, one of these battle rappers, you know, Loaded Lux. If you found out someone writing for them, you could call them suck MCs because these are battle MCs. See what I'm saying? It's not about a song. It's about spitting lyrics, you know what I'm saying? Lyrical domination. It's a whole different, you know, it's not about songs. So this is not about hip hop as a music genre. This is about the real cultural shit. Because that's what they, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. So how do you view Drake? He's somebody that got writers. So how you view him?
He probably do, but I mean, Drake is an amazing artist, man. Drake is an amazing artist. I I saw Drake perform, man. Hell of a performance, man. I actually I actually learned something real slick from watching the Drake show, call and response wise. I was like, that's dope how he did that. I was like, that's real dope. I think he's a hell of an artist. I think he knows how to make songs that appeal to the people. I think that he has a great look. He puts on a hellified concert. So I think he's a great artist, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Drake, he makes some good music, man. So, we on the same page when it comes to that. But I want to ask you, right? Because somebody sent me a video of an interview that you did on Drink Champs. And you made a comment saying that you prefer Tupac as an artist and you prefer DMX as a lyricist. If you don't mind, can you go more into detail
Yeah.
about what you meant by that?
Okay. Well, because I think that when it comes to lyrical MCs, there's the ones that make you do this, and there's the ones that make you do this. You know? DMX is the one that make you do this. Pac is the one that make you do this. Now, to explain what I'm trying to say is like someone like a DMX, Biggie, myself. We say rhymes that make you be like, yo, what that dude say? Hold up. You got to hit the rewind button. Hold up. Yo, what'd he say? Oh. Then you take artists like Tupac, artists like Chuck D, artists like Kendrick Lamar. They say stuff that have you like, yo, that just hit my soul, man. That hit my soul, man. Like, yo, this brother know what I'm going through. That was deep. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
What do you value more, substance or lyricism?
both. Like an artist that knows how to combine both, I look at as greatness. I think that Benny the Butcher, Conway, they're artists that know how to spit incredible lyrics. And I think that they're both great lyricists. I think that artists like Kendrick Lamar, what's the other guy? Oh man, he had the song, but he had the white guy rapping it in the video. Um, man, I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry, but he's a newer artist. But I think that they know how to speak on like their lyrical ability is about substance. You know, J. Cole, I think, is someone that know how to spit hard bars that have you like, oh my goodness, but then also very conscious stuff. And that's why I look at him as greatness, because he knows how to combine both of them together.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you make a good point, man. But I want to ask you, right? You being a respected lyricist, how you feel about the people that push the narrative and say that Tupac, he wasn't a lyricist? How
Okay,
you
but
feel
hold
about
up,
the
hold
people
up,
that
hold up,
say
hold
that?
up, hold up. Tupac is a lyricist. See what I'm saying? It's just that he's not one of those lyrical MCs that spit stuff, but his stuff is he spit deep lyrics that touch your soul. So I do consider Tupac a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Even though his stuff is about substance, I do consider him a lyricist, because it's like this here. You have to be lyrical to touch someone's soul, to make someone feel like, yo, I don't know this man, but he knows my pain. You see what I'm saying? So I do consider Tupac a lyricist. I would never ever say that he's not a lyricist. But carry on.
But I'm sure you hear that a lot, right? I mean, and to be honest with you, you being from New York, people from New York is really the ones that's pushing that narrative, if we being honest.
I mean, I've heard it all over, but I mean, it's like it's really, I guess it's really based on how you define a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? It's really based on how you define a lyricist. Now, how I define a lyricist may not be the same way you do, or anybody else, or someone else. You know what I'm saying? It's how you define a lyricist, you know? So it's like, if your definition of a lyricist is someone that make you want to break the rewind button, someone that, got amazing punchlines, someone that knows how to use great metaphors and similes, if that's your definition of a lyricist, then nah, you're probably not going to call Tupac a lyricist. But I mean, with me, I felt like Chuck D was a hell of a lyricist in our era, and he's not known for punchlines, metaphors, and that stuff. I thought he was a hell of a lyricist because he said stuff that spoke to my soul, man. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Pac did the same thing, and you could hear the pain in Tupac's voice. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've always considered Pac a lyricist. Kendrick, deep brother, and real clever with like the double entendres and wordplay. I mean, I think that he's a great lyricist, but with J. Cole, I mean, I think that he knows how to say deep stuff, but when he's saying the deep stuff, you see what's happening in the flow. He's using all these multiple syllables to say this deep stuff, where it's like, these words are connecting 4 or 5 syllables at the end of each line, like that type of wit, the effort that's put into that. If you really understand how the writing process works, the effort that's put into that is just like phenomenal. And then to top it off, after he done said, some deep stuff, he still find time to hit you with lines like, no Cosby shit, but if they sleeping on me, fuck them, and stuff like that. Come on, man, come on. I mean, yeah, like, yeah, that's dude is my favorite of the day. But I mean, I think that Kendrick is a great lyricist. I think that Pac was a great lyricist. Biggie, great lyricist. It's just some focus on substance, some focus on spitting that lyrical shit.
But if you lyrical and you ain't saying anything, me personally, I don't care. Like, and I mean, for me, that's what irritates me. Like, you would have somebody that would say, "Yo, this rapper is better than Tupac because he's more lyrical," but he ain't saying anything. He don't got no substance or anything. He just using big words.
But again, that goes back to what you like. You see what I'm saying? It's like, there's what you like, there's what I like, there's what the next person like. It's really a matter of what you like. Like, I remember a debate about Marvin Gaye and Luther Vandross, who was the best vocalist. And as I'm listening to the debate, all I could get from it was like, y'all like 2 different types of singers. You like a singer with a pretty, like this one person like a singer with a pretty voice, a pretty sparkling voice that could do all these here runs and vibrato. This person like a singer with a soulful voice that could belt out lyrics, hit high notes. You see what I'm saying? So if that's what you're looking for, then Marvin is the greatest. If the other thing is what you're looking for, then Luther's the greatest. It's about what you like, which means that neither one of y'all are wrong. It's what you like. And that's like one of the biggest problems in the world today. People just don't know how to, respect individuality, man. It's like, just say like, hey, man, if that's your thing, do you? I'm going to stay over here, though.
I'm taking Marvin, by the way.
Me
Shout
too.
out to Luther
Me
though.
too.
He's incredible.
Yeah, I love Luther, but yeah, I'm with Marvin all the way too.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to Marvin Gaye, man. He's staying rotation, man. But I gotta ask you, where Brooklyn at? How did that freestyle come about? You bringing, Pocket Big on stage at the Superfest and making that happen.
Well, we was on the Superfest. It was myself, Belle Biv DeVoe, Patti LaBelle, MC Light, SWV, Levert, and BBD, I believe, was headlining the whole tour. And then the last 2 dates, New York and Philly, Al Heyman switched it and let me headline. And the New York show was at the Garden. And Biggie called Mr. C, rest in peace, and asked C, could he come? So C, he came to me and was like, yo, Big won't come to the show tonight. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And he was like, but he was saying that he hanging with Pac. He's in town filming this movie because he was filming the Above the Rim joint. He was like, and Pac want to come too. I'm like, yeah, absolutely, by all means, because it's like, I'd known Pac, from, a few years before that. I've known Pac when he was dancing for Digital Underground. You know what I'm saying? Because I took them on my first tour. Digital opened up for my first tour. So I've known Pac then when him and Money B was dancing with, for Digital Underground, And back then, Pac was like, he came and spit rhymes for me saying that he doing his own solo stuff, but it's going to be different than what he do with Digital and all that. So, I already had love for the brother. So I'm like, hell yeah, bring Pac too. And they came and we did the show, and in the middle, I just was, I called them out. I was like, yeah, we're Tupac and Biggie Smalls. And they came on, I let them rhyme. And I mean, it became a legendary night because, for one, these two brothers ended up, having beef with each other, and then both of them, passing away. But here's a night where they're together, unified, rhyming on stage at Madison Square Garden. And then that legendary phrase came from that night, where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? So I mean, it was definitely a legendary night, a memorable night, But yeah, that was 1993, but was a Superfest.
So I gotta ask you this, man, because this guy, he get a hard time because I guess it's not footage of him on stage with him. But what's the truth about Fat Joe being on stage?
Fat Joe was there because you understand. Shaheem rhymed. My dancer Scoob Lover rhymed. Biggie rhymed, Pac rhymed, I rhymed. And then Fat Joe was easing over. And I was getting ready to let him rhyme. And then the stage manager was like, telling me I had 5 minutes left. And at that point, I still hadn't did Ain't No Half Stepping. I still hadn't did Warming Up Kane. Because I'm correct. I think I had to cut Ain't No Half Stepping. I think I only did one verse and one chorus, a half step, and then went straight into Warming Up Kane because we only had 5 minutes left. So then I had to look back at Joe like, like letting him know I ain't got no time, And I felt bad about that, man, because it was like, I think he had only like the guy to Flojo out at the time, so he was like a new artist, so I really wanted to let him get his shine. I know what that's like, man. I remember them days of me wanting to get on stage, so but I had the time, but yeah, he not lying. He was there, and I was getting ready to call him on, but then the stage manager gave me the sign, let me know you got 5 minutes left.
Yeah, that would have been a good look for him because he had that Flojo out. So, that would have been some good
Yeah.
promotion for his album.
And see, like, I probably could have, just pushed it if it was the regular order of the tour. You know what I'm saying? Because that mean I would have probably just went over like maybe 5 minutes of BBD time. You know what I'm saying? But because they switched the order, I was going last. They don't play in them type of venues. You see the lights come on, you hear the microphone go off, and then the music gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? They would have shut me down because they got a curfew, a certain curfew. So there's nothing I could really do.
Did Fat Joe feel a type of way about that?
I mean, I felt bad that night, probably that whole week. You know what I'm saying? And time go by, you forget about it. But then when I heard him mention it, then it made me feel like, okay, that's something that, affected him. So that's when it really, really hurt me. You know what I'm saying? That's when it really hurt me. But Joe, my dude, though, I mean, and understand, since then, Joe has looked out for me. So clearly he never held it against me, because since then, Joe has looked out for me. See what I'm saying? And always show me love. So, it ain't nothing but love. That's my dude.
Yeah, shout out to Fat Joe, man. But in real time, like you doing that show with Pac and Big, and they was friends at that time. How was that like? Cause y'all did that show in '93, and 3 years later they beefing. How was that like for you?
Yeah, man. I mean, it was the type of thing where, I'm from that era where Mo D and LL dissing each other on songs, and then you see these dudes backstage. You know? Um, I'm from that era where MC Shan and KRS-One dissing each other on songs. And you see these dudes backstage, you know? But now here's a situation where these dudes, well, Pac is dissing Big on songs, and they ready to go to war. And now the West Coast is hating the East Coast is hating the West. It ain't safe for some people to go out West. It ain't safe for some people to come out East. It done turned into something real. It ain't even about the music no more. I'm like, this is dangerous. This ain't good. I just felt like it was bad for the culture. I was like, I hope at some point, Suge and Puff can get together and maybe just turn this into like because we didn't have, the verses shit, none of that back then. Back then it was still like, the pay-per-view stuff. But it was like, turn this into like a pay-per-view event. Let them go at it, spill their catalog on stage, and, spit some bars against each other on stage, make millions of dollars off of this, and then walk away into the sunset and bury it, have this shit over with, Because, I mean, with Pac fan base and Big fan base, it's like there wouldn't have been no winner or loser. The West Coast would have said Pac won, the East Coast would have said Big won, and that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying? It would just been a matter of opinions at that point. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and both of them could have been filthy rich off of something like that. And who knows, well, I mean, I don't really know, the circumstances around, Pac passing, but, I mean, I would have hoped that, both of them could have still, been here with us today, you know?
Yeah, that's real talk. R.I.P. to Pac and Big, man. But I gotta ask you, because this rumor has been going around for a while now, but I want you to speak on it, man. I heard that Eric B, he was trying to sign you to Death Row East. Is that true?
Yeah, Suge was starting Death Row East, and he was gonna let Eric B run it, and they had me come out to LA to meet with Suge. We went out to LA, and then Suge was like, yo, you want to roll to the Tyson fight? Well, yeah. So then we end up leaving and going to Vegas. We get to Vegas. This is not the fight that Pac passed at. This is not that fight. This is the one before that. We go to Vegas, and I think it was in a restaurant or something talking, and he's asked me about working with artists on the label, and I told him well, I definitely want to work with Pac. I'd like to do something with Corrupt and even Lady of Rage. And then Pac came over, and he was saying that he want to work with me too, blah 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 blah. And then Suge was like, well, let's stop talking about it. Let's make it happen. We can make this happen tonight. So then we get on a flight and fly right back to LA. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. And we go in the studio, and the first thing that happened was the young cast that was one of the Pac groups. They ran it for him as soon as we walked in the door. yo, Lauryn Hill was talking about you. Yo, Mobb Deep was dissing you, man. So Pac went off, went into a room and started writing rhymes, going at Lauryn and Mobb Deep in them. And I went into another room and I wrote this song for MC Hammer that he about for an idea that he had. I wrote this song for him, and then Hammer played this other joint when he used the Junior Too Late, and me and Pac put a verse on that. And then that's when somebody came in and was like, yo, well, he didn't say Suge, he said Mr. Knight is ready to see you. And I came in, and as soon as I walked in Suge's office, these two big ass Rockwallers came around and started sniffing around me and stuff, and I'm like, Suge, walked over to his desk, sat down, and tapped the chair or his leg, I think, like that, and they ran, and the dogs came and sat right next to him. So I'm like, oh, okay, it's one of these meetings, But we talked, and it was a good conversation. He offered me more money than I asked for, but it was the type of thing where he also offered to give me I think 100 stacks, just for pocket money, and we didn't have no deal signed. It's like you sign a record deal, you get an advance that's recoupable. They got I would be in debt anyway, but that whole yo, here goes something for you to hold. I don't do that. That's just you know what I'm saying. That's to me, that means something else. That's their owner niche. You know what I'm saying? And I just wasn't. So I just was like, nah, I'm good. And I bounced. Like that next morning, I took a flight and went back to the East Coast because I was just like, this ain't me. But I appreciate Suge looking out and wanting to rock with me, because you got to understand, even though there was East Coast, West Coast beef going on, there wasn't one East Coast label knocking on Kane's door. All right? So there was not one single East Coast label saying, yo, I want to sign Kane. So if this man got the bag and want to show love, yeah, I sit and talk with you. And it's that simple. And like what I was saying, the very top of the conversation, I said what I said. He wanted to talk, I went to listen. Because nobody on the East Coast was knocking on my door. But as men, you should know. Especially, men that grew up on the street, you should know what's what. And something don't feel right, don't fuck with it. And I chose not to. But I do appreciate Suge, extending the opportunity, and more importantly, upping the money, because we started at 400,000 and ended at $1 million. And that wasn't me going up, that was him going up. Yeah, because I asked for 400,000. He said that's an odd number. He was like, why don't you why wouldn't you just ask for 500? I was like, okay, 500 it is. And then he's like, nah, you Big Daddy Kane. You a household name, man. You a household name. People know who you are. All you need is the right music. He's like, just like he's like Tupac is a household name now. Snoop Dogg is a household name now. I be trying to tell them Dog Pound niggas that, and they just want to keep screaming Daz Dillinger and Corrupt. They don't. I'm sorry. He said that I be trying to tell them that they need to be screaming Daz Dillinger and Corrupt, and they want to keep screaming Dog Pound instead of making their names household name. And that's why them niggas only look. He said that's why them niggas only sold double platinum. And I'm like, double platinum is low to you? Oh my man. You know what I'm saying? I found that interesting. Like he felt like 2-time platinum is low numbers. I'm like, I like your way of thinking. Respect, okay. But then, when the thing was said about the 100,000, I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
Wow, that's disgusting, bro. At that time, nobody from New York was checking for you?
Nah.
Like for everything you did for the city and like nobody. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
bro.
none of the labels on the East Coast was trying to sign me.
Yeah, that Pac and Fuji story is crazy, man. Because anybody that knows me know that, Pac and Lauryn Hill is like two of my favorite artists. So Yeah, that's crazy, man. So you was there when the Outlaws told Tupac that, the Fugees dissed him.
Yeah, like that was like soon as we walked in. We wasn't in the booth yet. I mean in the control room yet. We was like in the front of death row.
And what was his reaction?
He took his ass to the control room and started writing.
Yeah, that's wild, man. And the song that you're referring to is called When We Ride on Our Enemies. Hey, Wes, can you play the song for him if you don't mind, yo? Like a little snippet?
Fugees. Fugees in my deep trying to diss down too, huh?
Yeah, that was the record right there. But I want to ask you, right? When you went out to LA to have that meeting with Suge, because Suge wanted to sign you to Death Row East, did word get back to New York? Did you get any backlash? Because at that time you had the beef between, East and West. So.
Oh, I mean, if they did, they ain't say nothing to me. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, it wasn't like, you gotta remember this ain't social media era. So it was not like as if like, me, Pac, Eric B, and Suge was taking pictures and posting it and stuff like that. This wasn't that era. I was like, we connected, and who was there was there. You know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. And I want to backtrack, man, because I know when you was in LA, you was recording with Tupac. How was his process like in the studio?
Um, I mean, watching Pac in the studio, it was dope, because dude has like so much energy and passion. He has so much energy and passion. And then also the way he does, like when he stacks his vocals, he does something that I don't, a lot of I don't know a lot of artists, can actually do, where when they say it again, they can say it pretty much with the same exact cadence. Like he can double the whole verse and pretty much hit it exactly like he did the first time. You know.
Just curious, right? When you, Suge, and Pac went out to Vegas for the Tyson fight, when he fought Frank Bruno, how was that like when y'all was out there? Like, what did y'all do, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it was dope. We what was I think first we went and go see the Sickfield and Roy dudes with the White Tigers. Ate some good ass sushi. Went clubbing for a little bit, but I mean it was cool.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So you and Pac, y'all did a record when you was out there in LA.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, wherever you are. Yeah, wherever you are. Yeah, we did that too. All that happened that night. Me and Pac doing that wherever you are. Me and Pac rhyming on the Too Late Player joint for Hammer. Me writing another joint for Hammer called "What You Gonna Do for Me," and the meeting with Suge. Everything happened in one night.
So you wrote for MC Hammer. Do you have any idea what Suge plans was for Hammer?
Hammer. Yo, yo, and everything. I honestly think, Hammer was getting ready to hit him again. I honestly think Hammer was getting ready to hit him hard again. He played one of the joints that he did, and he used Rick James, "You and I," and however they replayed it or whatever, it sounded bigger and more powerful, and it was about him and his homie, riding, you know, and it was like as he's explaining it to me, I didn't see it, and I guess he could see that I didn't really see it. So then he starts rapping the lyrics to me as it's playing, you know, and it's that, you and I, like Rick James, but then he's adding we're homies. Like, so it's like you and I, we're homies. And he was doing his Elvis. And I mean, but then it gets to the thing, the little break part, and he's like, and it's the new dance I'ma hit him with. And he does this ill dance. And I'm just sitting there like, he about to win again. He about to win again. I'm just looking like, yo, he about to win again. I'm like, I don't like this, but I can't front on it. This is a big record for Hammer. This is a big record for Hammer. Like, I mean, I just saw it. I'm like, he's gonna win again. I wish he would have put it out, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could hear
Yeah.
that record, man. I know Tupac, he wrote a record for, Hammer called Unconditional Love, and it was awful, man. MC Hammer version of it. It just didn't sound right, Tupac writing for him, man. That's why I'm curious to hear the song that you wrote for him, to see how you did it.
Well, see, the way the beat was going, I can't remember if I was following the guitar or what it was. I was doing a flow that was different, but it was where I was trying to space the words out so that he could sit in pocket more comfortable. Cause I felt like what was it? We pray. I think that was like probably like him at one of his most comfortable moments, then I think there's another joint. It's like I felt like it needed Hammer needed spacing. So I was trying to write it in a way where he could sit in pocket comfortable without having to trying to rush any words or anything or going off beat, So I never heard how he had did it. I never heard, after his version of it, but I mean, I felt like it was something real easy. And it was slick wordplay, but it was like, it was, I think the style was real comfortable for him where he could sit in pocket.
Yeah, that's what it was right there. You could tell he was uncomfortable. Like he was rushing the words. He wasn't in pocket. Yeah, that's exactly what it was right there, yo. Like you can tell.
Yeah.
You got to hear the record, man.
Like I had that problem before with Curtis Blow. Like I wrote a song for Curtis Blow and I told him what he needed to do. And he was like, no, I want it like raw. I want it like raw. I want you to write it like raw. I want that, I'm like, Kurt, the way you was flowing on AJ Scratch, I'm like, if you let me just write you some lyrical shit in that flow, you'll kill it. That just the way he did a song called AJ Scratch where Kurt was just up in the Bronx where the people are fresh. There was one DJ who could pass the test. I'm like, let me write something lyrical in that flow and you're going to kill it. But he wanted it like raw. And when he did, it's a song called I'm Not New to This, I'm True to This. And he tried to do it in my style. It was a struggle because he couldn't keep it. And then, the breath control, the pace, and he couldn't do it, But I mean, Hammer listened. Hammer was, when I told him like, yo, this is how I need to, okay. And, he was excited,
Jay-Z, I heard that no one really wanted to sign him when you was shopping him around the record labels. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This was, I want to say, I don't know, 90, 91 maybe. We was, we recorded some songs, probably about 4 or 5 songs on Jay-Z and shopped them to several different record labels and they all passed. They all passed, none of them could see the vision. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you about that. I'm glad because I don't think that dude would be as successful and the billionaire that he is had they signed him. Because this is when Jay was doing that, that fast rapping stuff, him and Jazz O created, so he was doing that fast rapping thing. And, that style, it was hot for a minute and then it kind of went away, I think Twister may have been the only one that really survived that whole, era of that, So, I mean, I don't think that Jay would have really blew up had he came out, with that flow, Once he, had a chance to reflect and, say, nah, I want to change it up. And he got on his, his gangster hustler shit. The rest was history, So I mean, I'm glad that we didn't get him a deal. I'm glad I didn't get him a deal because what he did on his own and figured out that was the ticket. That was the right move, and it made him, you know, the hip hop legend that he is today. You know,
So the label's issue with him was his flow.
yeah. I mean, it was like with some people they didn't, like the flow. With some people they didn't like the image. It differed, but nevertheless we couldn't make it happen.
Could you ever imagine Jay being where he at right now?
Nah, because I mean it was like I had Jay-Z, Positive K, and Source Money, and Paz and Source Money, they had a lot of character. These was like, dudes that had a lot of character. And Paz knew how to perform. He was funny as hell, very charismatic. Source, just an arrogant, sarcastic dude, man. You know what I'm saying? And with a real slick tongue, man. So I felt like, they had like, a whole lot of potential. Jay was more quiet. But I mean, I learned that Jay was being quiet because he was taking notes. He was taking notes, observing everything, taking it all in, because, sometimes you around and you're watching to see things to do. But some people are around watching, seeing what not to do. You get it? And I think that's the intelligence of a Jay-Z.
And Jay, he went to your birthday party, right? In 91?
Oh yeah. Well, you can that picture floats around online. I see it a whole lot, Yeah. Yeah, he came out that night. That night was an amazing night, man. I think it might have been my 24th birthday party. I can't remember. Um, I can't remember. But yeah, he was there and a lot of people was out that night. We had Bobby Brown on stage rapping. Yeah. Bobby Brown was on stage that night rapping. Yeah, it was real dope.
I heard that Nas, he came to you for some advice for Illmatic before it came out. Is there any truth to that?
No. He didn't come to me before. I met Nas when Illmatic was out. Yeah, there was a studio in New York called Unique Studios, and we was in there in separate rooms. And he came, introduced himself, and I told him that I loved the album, and he said, "Well, tell me something. What do you think I should have did different?" And I was like, "Nothing. I think the album is phenomenal." And he was like, I appreciate that, but I mean, like, what could I have done, to you think that like that you to make it better? Like, what do you think I should have done? I'm like, I don't think you should have did anything to make it better. I'm like, a lot of people, use that term, five mic. Oh, this is a five mic album. They use that term very loosely. You know what I'm saying? About average ass albums. Your shit is a real five mic album. I'm like, this, is like my favorite hip hop album, at the moment, man. I'm like, this album is phenomenal. I'm like, you shouldn't, there's nothing you should have did. And then he just kept at it like, okay, if this was your album, what would you have done different? I'm like, me, I mean, I would have probably had a song on there, for the ladies, because because women buy records too, man. So I would have had at least one song on there for the ladies. I'm like, but that's me. That ain't you. You know what I'm saying? You do you. And what you did is perfect. Ain't nothing wrong with that album. The album is incredible. You know?
One of the greatest albums ever, man.
Yeah.
But before we head out, right, I gotta ask you, you and Madonna, it's always been this rumor that y'all dated.
Madonna is not my leftovers, man. Me and Madonna never had sex, man. I mean, we just did a photo session. We just did a nude photo session. That's all. Well, I mean, we wasn't fucking or nothing like that. She's a sweetheart that showed a lot of love, acknowledged me in a situation where we're in a bougie ass hospital with, rich white kids that didn't really know who the hell I was, and she acknowledged me, made them aware of who I am, and then asked me to do a photo session with her, and that's all we did, man. And I got a lot of love and respect for Madonna, man. You know, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure
But
you hear this
we
all the
never did
time
nothing.
though, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. Everybody, all the time. But I mean, you know, it's like, I mean, hey, that's where people imagination want to go, man. But I mean, I got love and respect for Madonna.
Yeah, because you always hear like when Madonna is linked to a rapper, they always bring it back to you. No matter what rapper she linked to, they always say, "Oh, Big Daddy Kane had her first."
Well, nah, that's not true, man. Me and Madonna, we never had nothing together, other than a photo shoot, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Big Daddy Kane, man. Hey, man. Words can explain how much I appreciate you coming on the platform, man. Thank you, man.
Nah, my pleasure, brother. My pleasure, man. It was fun, man. All right.